All right. Welcome, everybody. We're back streaming Friday night. I think this is the most Fridays in a row I've ever done. Up to this point, I haven't been a very consistent person. So, it's been fun to be here every Friday, I think, for a while, maybe. But anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? Purple Dracos, performer number 6, Glenn, Exit 13, Ollie, Michael, Glenn. I already said Glenn. Memes I found on the internet, welcome. Fauci Headbanger, welcome. And Sammy, Reesky, and yes, Reesky, I will do yours on Twitch. Actually, I think I'm going to save all the requests for Twitch tonight because this video popped up in my feed that I'm really curious about. Jonas, welcome. Gray Squirrel, welcome. Good to see you all. So, I'm going to try something a little different today. Save the requests for Twitch. And I'm really curious about this video here. How Tim Henson can play so dang fast by step-by-step guitar. So, let me pop this link in the chat and check it out. There's another thing, too. I got to finish my my lunch really quick. So this will be perfect. Here's the link to the video I'm going to check out here. Let's do it. Because I think we all want to know how Tim Henson can play so fast, right?
Everyone in the guitar community has gone crazy for Polyphia's Tim Henson. But what I wanted to discover is, how does he play so freaking fast? So I studied how he plays the track Playing God, and here's 5 things that I found out. Number 1, if you want to play basketball, being tall is an unfair advantage. If you want to be a jockey, being small is an unfair advantage.
Was he going to say he has big hands?
One fairly obvious unfair advantage is having long, thin fingers. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that you can't become a world-class guitarist with smaller fingers. Randy Rhoads, Prince, and Steve Lukather had all have smaller hands. There's those North Korean kids. But Tim Henson is a big-handed guy. It's almost impossible to play some of Polyphia's riffs without big hands. In the Playing God riff, for example, there's a stretch from the 8th fret on the 6th string to the 13th fret on the 2nd string. And it'd be very...
Wait, what? What did you say, 7 to the 13?
Difficult to the 13th fret on the 2nd string. There's a stretch from the 8th fret on the 6th string to the 13th fret on the 2nd string.
I guess 8 to 13, that's not that big of a stretch. I don't know.
And it'd be very difficult to play that riff with small hands. But even with big hands, it's not possible to get awkward chord voicings
Maybe
right.
My hands are medium.
And here Tim takes a page from classical guitarists who regularly play awkward, long, stretched chords. Here's pro classical guitarist Anna Vidovich playing Cavatina. If we stop it there...
No way!
Who's guitarists regularly play awkward, long, stretched chords. Here's pro classical guitarist Anna Vidovich playing Cavatina.
I was literally watching her play this morning. She was doing like this gig inside this big church, and it was like an hour-long gig, all one shot. She's freaking amazing. Okay.
If we stop it there, let's compare it to how an amateur classical guitarist plays it. Can you spot the difference? Okay, it's an old video of me. Have you spotted it yet? It's the thumb.
Ah, the thumb should be on the bottom of the neck.
Are regularly getting into positions that really slow them down. In classical guitar, you're taught to put the thumb directly behind the middle finger. And if you look at the best classical guitarists, from the front, you rarely see their thumb. And by keeping the thumb down and around halfway behind the neck, it means...
I was actually researching classical guitar this morning because I thought it would be a fun project. I've had a classical guitar since I was a teenager, just because I like the nylon strings, but I've never actually learned to play it like a classical guitar. I was like, this would be a fun little, something to dig my teeth into to learn something new. And that's so weird that this video is talking about classical guitar.
Wide stretches become possible. For example, I can stretch 6 frets if I keep my thumb down, but if my thumb is higher up, it becomes more like 4 frets. If you watch Tim Henson's videos, it's really uncommon for the thumb to pop up, and this allows him to get into those extraordinary positions. When you're a beginner on guitar, it's impossible to get a basic C chord right without getting some bum notes. As you get better, you can hit clean notes more consistently, but still one of the hardest notes to hit accurately are natural harmonics. With natural harmonics, you need to put your finger exactly over the fret, and then take it off at exactly the right time. The margin for error is really small, and if you get it right, you get this lovely cascading waterfall of notes.
Love how Tim adds those harmonics in.
If you get it wrong,
it
sounds like
riffs.
pops and pans clashing together. So to play them consistently and at high speeds, Tim uses this hybrid picking technique, where he alternates between his pick.
Oh yeah, Ollie, they're like super... Like, I think you can even do vibrato by just pressing them down harder. Like, they're super sensitive to any type of movement.
And mainly his middle finger. And he even does it live. It's amazing. Oh, God, I sound like such a fanboy.
Who wouldn't be a fanboy of Tim? I mean, come on.
It takes an extraordinary amount of time for a guitarist to get control of their fingers. A less experienced guitarist's fingers always end up popping up unexpectedly. In my private lessons, if I start teaching a new student who's been playing for maybe a couple of years or so, I ask them first to play this simple chromatic scale. Just by playing these 8 notes, you can get a pretty good idea of how well a student can control their fingers and keep them down. In this part of playing God, Tim can achieve this blistering speed because all his fingers are staying really close to the fretboard, which have taken a lot of committed practice to get right. In watching it though, one thing that's really weird to me is how much control he has over his index finger. And it's held in exactly that position a few millimeters above the fretboard, and it's just waiting its turn to be called upon. I've never seen someone have so much control over a finger. Number 5. Speaking about fast runs, let's look at that picking. There's an extremely small range of motion on that pick. It's like he's giving the strings a little tickle. It looks like he's altered picking all the way through. And all the notes are as clean as a pearl. And if you want to see how you should go about learning one of Polyphia's hardest riffs, I'll check out this video next. And
it's so interesting because a lot of why I appreciate Tim Henson so much are things that are so subtle. It's like, I don't know if many people who aren't guitar players would even really notice like how special he is. But I mean, a lot of people are into Polyphia that don't play guitar, I'm guessing. Anyway, he's a trailblazer genius on guitar, Interesting video. Some cool stuff to think about in there. Anyway, all right. Good morning, Michael. It's Saturday morning, Australia. Wow. It's only 1 in the afternoon here on Friday. Michael's coming to us from the future. All right. So we're going to head over to Twitch now, do some requests, and have a good time over there. So I'll see you then. Oh, yeah. Link is in the description.